We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig.
I did. Oh, wow! Right on the tip. Just on the tip.
And Blabs. Co-hosted by our friends from around the internet.
There is a portion of Norway where it is legally required to carry a firearm at all times.
If you're just a normal man looking for common sense in this crazy-ass world, you've come to the right place. And now, broadcasting from our homes from around the internet, it's time for Side Scrollers.
Okay, you ready? Open wide!
It's me, your boy! I'm Stuttering Craig. I don't know why I'm tiny. There we go. Anyway, hi everybody. Listen, Craig died. I'm really sorry. Craig died. He was like, texted me at 9 a.m. He's like, I've died. So good luck, everybody. And so here we are. And I'm sorry for today. I apologize very, very much. But I do have Melee K with me who's going to be helping me out. And she like is a total rock star for showing up every time I ask.
Well, thank you. Rip Craig. Everyone rip Craig in the chat.
Yes.
Moment of silence for Craig.
Put F's in the chat, please, for Craig. Thank you very much. But also, we have Arch.
Hello.
No cape today. Hello. How you doing today?
I'm doing fine, thank you. How's everyone doing?
Good. So you said you had a hamburger before we went live. He literally was like, I need to eat dead cow flesh.
Yes. Specifically, I said I needed to put dead cow flesh into my mouth.
Right. So I was like, right. But now that we're live, I'd like to know, what did you have with this?
A bun and cheese.
That's
like
it?
normal people.
That's it?
Yes.
What kind of cheese?
Well, Norwegian cheese. The yellow kind, not the brown kind.
What is Norwegian cheese?
Yeah, what is Norwegian cheese?
The yellow kind, not the brown kind.
You have brown cheese?
I don't know if that narrows.
Of course we
down
have
for
brown
me.
cheese.
What?
What?
Yes.
Is it like because it ages so long and turns brown?
No, we milk goats and make cheese out of goats.
Yeah,
And it comes out brown?
Yeah, I don't understand
Yes.
that part. What kind of goats are you using?
I don't think I'd eat that cheese, man.
Norwegian goats. It
Yeah,
kind of
but
tastes
like,
a little bit
just
like
dairy
caramel.
goats. Caramel? What? What?
Yeah, sort of, kind of.
You add caramel into your cheese?
No, it just comes out that way. Goats taste like
No.
caramel in nature.
This is so
No,
gross.
they don't.
I
What
thought
are
the
you talking
thumbnail was going to
about?
make me vomit, but this might make me vomit.
So anyway, that's the show. I don't mind fucked already. Brown
2 minutes
cheese,
in, everybody!
3 minutes and 12 seconds. Well, see you later. Anyway, guys, listen, we got a pretty stacked show, as Kay would say backstage. So, yes, it is cheese scrollers today. I agree. I did not have cheese this morning, but I had cheese yesterday. Anyway, we do have a stacked show. Obviously, you can always find us on Spotify, Kick, Apple Podcast, obviously on YouTube, Instagram, Locals, Rumble. I don't know if I missed anything else, but we're there. You can find us in all the links in the descriptions below. You can find Kay and Arch down below. You can find me down below. Everybody is there. So I'm going to speed run the intro. Hello, everybody. Okay, done. All right. So I'm actually going to... I'm just going to jump right in today in gaming history because, like I said, we have a stacked show. So, today, January 29th, this was for Craig, and Craig decided to die today, so, fuck Craig. We have Duke Nukem 3D releasing in 1996, reminding me that I will be 29 this year. Whoop-de-doo. We have Phantasy Star Online, released in 2001, and then we have Hitman HD Trilogy, releasing in 2013. Does anyone ever play any of those games before?
Hail to the king, baby. I've played Duke. I love Duke.
Yeah.
Fantasy Star Online, because I'm a big Dreamcast simp. Oh my god, this was the game that inspired Monster Hunter and everything. So this is a huge thing. And that was, you get to play online with people. It's not really related to the other Fantasy Star games, but that was good. I like, it's a good list today, honestly. All iconic.
Okay. Arch, ever play any of those? Or are you no?
No, it just reminds me of Duke Nukem Forever, which has actually been made sort of pseudo-playable now by mods.
Oh, Well, I feel like I'm gonna be Craig right now. I'm like, you missed these today, Blabs. But really, I didn't. I just selected 3 because that's the only options I have. So there are Bust a Groove releasing on PlayStation, NBA in the Zone 1998, which I don't know anything about that. We have Ninja Blade in 2009, Heavy Fire Shattered Spear, The Castle Doctrine, Life is Strange, EA Sports UFC 3. Does these ring a bell to anybody? Oh, but this one I should have added to the list. This one is on me. Kingdom Hearts 3 was released on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One in 2019.
Overrated.
Really?
Overrated. I'm a Kingdom Hearts hater, so that's me. I want to love Kingdom Hearts so bad. I do. It's Disney and it's Final Fantasy. What is there not to love? And then I start playing it and Sora starts whining about his problems. I'm like, I don't care about your problems. They're kind of annoying. And then the story gets convoluted. I did not get to 3. I didn't even get through 1. I can't. But I know it's near and dear to a lot of people. So yeah, maybe that should have been on there.
I actually put Kingdom Hearts on Steam on my wish list. I think there's like a bundle or whatever. And I've never played them. So I kind of wanted to.
I mean, a lot of people love it. Like, I'm the outlier here. Like, a lot of people will yell at me for not liking Kingdom Hearts, but I just can't. I might try Kingdom Hearts 2 again, because someone, like a friend of mine was like, just play it. It's better. And I did, and I was like, okay, the combat feels really good in 2. But then Goofy was laughing again, and I was like, I can't do this.
Right. So, Arch, any thoughts on Kingdom Hearts?
No. Disney is gay.
Okay, clip that. Thanks, Kay. 6:44. Okay, well, let me just hit up some really fast super chats. By the way, chat, I cannot see not Rumble, I should say, I should not see direct donations. If there are any, they will be read tomorrow if Craig is alive. If not, we will read them the next time Craig is alive. Okay. General Grievous says, been watching you play Witcher, Arch. Thoughts on the game so far?
I love the world. Like, the general feel of the entire world and the quest structure is excellent. The combat is ass and needs to be ashamed of itself, however.
Wow, so we have Disney is gay and the combat in Witcher is ass.
Absolute, complete, utter garbage.
Wow.
Bottom tier.
There you go. Nathan says, if it was my car, I'd reject her not based on the damage it would do to my suspension, but the possible stains left on my seat. And somehow, I don't think that woman gives a tip big enough to risk that. Right, so we're going to get into this. This is a huge topic for today, and Kay and Arch have no idea what I'm talking about. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fabulous. William says, I still play PSO on 1 and 2. I should say PSO 1 and 2 online with OG Xbox. Thank you very much, William. And then Marksman says, Arch, I see you started a civil war between yourself and chat over not smashing Derpy from MLP 1. What did I miss? 2. What Derpy do? I need context here, Arch. What the hell?
Oh,
My Little Pony?
Yes, my chat does this. It decided that it needed to see me rank all of the ponies in order of smashability, and I refused to smash. No, I think the term is brony. Actually, we have a term and everything. We have support groups. We have outreach programs.
Outreach programs. Do you have like a Discord server just full of brownies?
Brownies,
like
I wish, but
you should think of doing that and just invite all the bronies into that one little channel on your server.
I should, but I think they'd be worried it's a trap.
I think you should do it. It's worth a trap. That's right. Marksman says Derpy can be fixed, but who the hell is Derpy? Is that a horse?
Yes, Derpy is the brain-damaged horse, which is why I did not want to have sex with that horse, because I don't think the horse can consent.
Oh my God.
That was my logic.
My God, I did not know that there was a pony named Derpy.
Oh, there's a whole lore around it, because she was named Derpy by the audience because she has like eyes that go different directions.
So she looks like Superman.
Yes, but she was later renamed because the creators, after years and years, was like, wait, that's offensive to Derpy people, so we need to rename her.
Right.
Yes.
Anyway, okay, Kratos says, Kay, have you seen Post Malone's Oreos?
I keep getting tagged in them. I know it's inevitable that I'm going to have to eat them. I know, and I don't want to.
She is inevitable. Yeah, I'm not. They look okay. They're a bit weird. Mercenary says, I used to do Lyft. A lady like that got me fired. Really? Well, then maybe you should sue if that's the case. Wrongful termination. Ozymandias for €5.99 says, "Oh no! Now Craig won't hear the story of how Savvy and Lumi traumatized Arch for 4 hours plus. I have never seen Arch so bullied. It was glorious." Well, funny enough, I was actually thinking about bringing Lumi on, but then I didn't want to like distract from Arch's Today show, so I didn't bring her on. But yeah, were you being traumatized?
Do not ever have Lumi and Madame Savvy on at the same time. It's not a good combination.
No.
No. Two Fujoshis in a room. Terrible.
Speedcake says, "Hey Blabs, I was watching Falling Down earlier and found a spot worthy of clipping. Will it post it in the Side Scrolls video clips on Discord channel?" All right, thank you very much for that, and thank you for the 20. Gail says, "2 women, disgusting. I'll suffer through this for Arch, however." I mean, literally, there's been 2 women on the stream many times, Gail.
What is a woman?
Yeah, right? Matt Walsh can't even say what a weeb is. Commodore Fan 64 says, "My Little Pony and brownies, yuck." Yeah, I agree. I didn't know that you were one of those, Arch. I
used to be of the same opinion, but then I watched the show because I wanted to do a lore video on it as a joke. And it's like, okay, this is clearly made for 12-year-old girls, but compared to modern entertainment, it's pretty good.
Right. Anyway, okay, so I see the rest of your super chat, guys, but they do relate to Dank, so we're going to get to that in a little bit. But first off, I just wanted to share this video with Kay, and I'm just wondering if this is like a natural thing you guys do in Canada, because you guys are basically born out of lakes with like hockey skates on your feet and stuff.
Is that what happens? We're drawn by a stork, and then we just start ice skating?
Yeah, so this is a man who apparently dropped his phone in the water, and all of his friends decided to help him out and have him retrieve his phone. So it's 25 seconds, and we're just gonna let it play.
Count of 3. 1, 2. You killed it. Yes.
Oh no! Don't do that.
Fucking guy, man.
I'm not crazy.
I would be terrified to do that. Oh my god.
You ready to pull him up?
All that for a phone. I don't know.
Yeah, just get a new phone, bro. Like, oh my god. Okay, that was extremely Canadian. Kudos to them.
Arch, what do you think? Would you do that?
Entirely normal. We do that in basic training in the Norwegian military.
Wait,
what is happening over there? Like,
yeah,
grilled cheese and ice dives?
It's to teach you that when you go in the cold water, you get very cold and you need to heat up quickly. It's a valuable lesson.
Wait, were you in the Norwegian military?
Yeah, what's happening?
No, I was excluded for reasons we can't talk about here.
Bigfoot?
Yes, partially. We don't have Bigfoots, we just have bears and hairy men. We also have the tradition of ice bathing, which is not as fun as it seems, but it's amusing to try once.
Isn't ice bathing just like sit in a giant tub of ice?
No. It's, well, you might be in some countries, but here you just walk into the water when it's, winter. Easy enough.
But why? Is it for all the natural, like, health stuff where it, like, helps your muscles and shit?
No, I think that's largely bullshit. Well, if you're ice bathing like professionals, I'm sure it works, but when you simply just stand in the cold and jump into a hole that has been carved in the ice for you, I don't think it's healthy, especially the way your nuts retract up into your body, not to be seen again for the next few hours.
Now, has that happened to you often?
No, that's the only time they've, you physically feel them like, no.
Wait, what?
Wait, you feel them like curl up into your body? Like, what's happening?
What is that sensation like? Do they just like, and they just go up?
Yes, largely.
Do you actually feel like shoved up?
It's, well, your entire body feels like it gets gut punched when you just jump into the water, which is one of the reasons why a lot of people freeze to death in the water, because they jump in the water, they get the cold shock immediately, then they start sitting there for a while, and if you're in the water for more than about a minute or so, you're probably fucked, because your muscles will start locking up, so that's not good.
Fascinating. I've always wondered what it felt like to have balls. Interesting.
Well, most of the time, you don't even think about them. It's only when you bump them against things that they become an inconvenience.
I mean, like, How does that happen where you just bump into things? Like, are they like in a fucking wheelbarrow in front of you? Like,
you'd be surprised. There's a reason why God designed most animals with, nuts that, retract. Whereas we just have them dangling there.
retractable balls.
Wait, retractable
Indeed.
balls is normal? What is happening?
Yes.
Oh my God.
The little winky goes into a thing inside the body instead of
Wait,
hanging
what?
there.
Little
exposed.
winky?
Huh?
Yes.
What is
Most
a
animals
winky?
have retractable penises.
Retractable penises? Like a lightsaber
Yes.
just
What
goes
is
down?
the-
Shoom.
Yes. Yes.
Pull the lever, crunk, crunk lever.
Whereas we poor humans, we just have it dangling there to be struck against any low-hanging branch or other things.
Oh my god, this is hilarious. Okay, wow, it's literally like a retractable lever. That's amazing. Okay, I feel like since we're already talking about balls and stuff, we should probably just get into hard news because there's an
Can't get
innuendo
harder
in
than
this
that.
somewhere. Yeah,
Hard news.
yeah, so hard news, unlike a man jumping into an ice bucket of water. Yay. I learn so much every time you're on this show, Arch. It's always fascinating. So thank you
Very
for that.
educational.
You're welcome.
Right. Anyway, so do you guys like robots?
Depends on the context. Are they trying to come after me or are they friendly?
Well, this one's a friendly robot, and he's actually being bullied. Are you for bullying robots?
I know where this is going, and I don't think I can legally speak on this subject without getting deported and/or reported.
This isn't about sex robots, Arch.
Oh no, we're not talking about sex. We're talking about racism today.
What? Where did we go?
I'm just saying that if this is the clip I think it is, I cannot speak on this without putting everybody in severe
Is
mortal
this
danger.
the clip?
Yes, that's the clip.
What? Okay, anyway, so context here. Kai Cenat bought a $70,000 AI robot, or I'm assuming he bought it, doesn't say. And apparently it's trying to run away from the AMP house because it keeps getting kicked and bullied by Kai, Agent, and Phantom. Now, I don't know any of these guys except for Kai Cenat, but I actually feel bad for the robot. So apparently Arch is not allowed to talk on the situation, but I'll just let this play out.
Oh!
Isn't that mean?
This is so mean. Stop it. Oh my god. When there's an AI takeover, they're gonna cite this as the reason. They're gonna be like mowing us all
racism.
down.
They're all saying a bunch of N-words. So mean.
Where your mom at, boy?
Where your mom at, boy?
Oh!
You
We're
killed
gonna
him.
be justified in coming after us.
He's trying to run away.
This is 70,000, bro.
Let him go free.
Tweaking, bro.
So yeah, Arch. Why
Protect
can't
robots.
you comment?
Deport. No further words allowed. I
feel
told
like-
you. You asked for this.
You know what? That's fair.
You are racist.
I shall wear that like a badge of honor. See, I am even hard in on the whole like robots cannot have souls, robots cannot be a live thing, and yet clips like these make me wonder.
It's me. Like, I don't care who's doing it. Leave the little robot alone. That's just cruel.
It's so innocent. It's just wandering around and they're just like, ah. Also, $70K for that thing. I don't know. I'd be scared to like bump it around if it breaks.
Yeah,
or something.
I would just be like, you sit there. Don't
Yeah,
ever move
you
ever
hang out.
again. I will get you whatever you need.
Yeah. Would you like a
$70,000.
beverage?
Yeah. Do you want like a beverage and not like a smile and everything? So apparently Arch refuses to comment on that robot, but that's fine. So anyway, do you guys want to talk about Dank now?
Yeah, please educate me on this because I thought you were talking about Count Dankula, and I was so
No.
confused.
We're talking about real life woman named Dank. So anyway, let me fix the zooming over here because this is really big now. Okay. Plus size rapper sues Lyft after driver refuses to take her over fears she'd bust his tires. Which is true because she's massive. So her name is Dank DeMoss, real name Dejua Blanding, filmed her interaction with the Lyft driver earlier this month, showing her arguing back and forth over whether she could fit into his vehicle. I can fit into this car, Dank says. Believe me, you can't, the driver responded in the clip. Although the driver said he would refund her ride so Blanding wouldn't be charged for the trip, she sued the taxi service, claiming she was discriminated against. I've been in cars smaller than that, she says.
Doubt.
Yep. I just want them to know if it hurt. I just want them to know that it hurt my feelings. Now, she shared videos of herself on Instagram and everything, and we're going to get to that in a bit. But here's what one person says. It's against the law to overload a car, one commenter said in response. The driver was very polite. He explained his valid reasons and even apologized. Try seeing things from another perspective. Now, are you guys ready to see what Dank looks like?
I am prepared.
All right. Feast your eyes on Dank. Her name is
That's
Dank.
not fitting in a big building. That's not even going into a conference center. Like, how?
This is Dank, everybody. Dank is a rapper. Dank is overweight. Dank would break suspensions on somebody's vehicle. Anyway, let's move on. This is also Dank.
Oh my god, I'm gonna vomit.
Look at those legs. What do you say, Arch? Does that make your balls shrivel back up like you're in the cold water?
Actually, you know, for a video purpose, I had to look into how these people have sex, and believe me, it's not something I would recommend anyone
Why
ever
would you do that?
investigate.
You're an investigative reporter for how 500-pound people have sex now? Is that what's going on?
It's not. It's pretty much exactly what you think it is, and it's not good. It's not good. It requires excavation.
Excavation.
Like a construction site?
Well, yeah, pretty close. But I've seen them use tools. And there's the lifting part, because when you get to that size, it just like covers everything. It's not good.
Is there an epidemic of fat people getting their forklift license so they can like do it or something? Like what?
What an adventure. Do you know these answers, Arch? He does, doesn't he? Are you making a video? Is that why you're not telling anybody? Is this like some adventure you're going on by yourself? Some like...
Oh, I need to do this years and years, years and years ago. I barely even remember the context. All I remember is being mildly traumatized by all of it. I think it involved a bicycle seat at one point to hold the flaps open. Otherwise, there just was no way to access the parts.
What? Okay, well, anyway, moving on. The car in question, by the way, was a Mercedes-Benz sedan. Just so everyone's aware of what the situation is. But I thought we would go through Dank's Instagram because Dank is massive and Dank is rude. So let me find her. This is her thing with the Lyft driver. I think there's music on here. Or not. It's not playing any music. But basically, she's like, if Ion stand for something, I'll fall for anything. Reminder, Ion. They to my lawyers, Marco and Zach Runyon, fighting for my community and my people, making change to the world, not just for me, but everyone. Thank you to my team and all the support I'm getting. So I just want to point out, she's saying my people. Like, who is she talking about? Like obese people? Is that like a thing?
I don't know. Is it the Catamaris, maybe?
Crazy people fall on anything.
To be fair, in defense of the fat woman here, I'm pretty sure she doesn't weigh more than half a ton, surely. Normally
like
speaking,
400 pounds.
Yeah, that's far from half a ton. Most like there'll be very few cars who doesn't have the load bearing capacity of that, particularly a Benz. But I can see why somebody who is invested in a Mercedes, which are not usually cheap cars, would not want her in it, because I'm pretty sure she could damage the seating just by. You'd have to crank forward the seats to make room for her, I'd wager.
This is true. But according to the Daily Mail article, she has weighed 500 pounds in the past, but since December, she has lost like 40 pounds. So she weighs like 460 pounds.
Good for her.
Good for her for losing weight, but she's still a whale. And she's a very rude whale. And I want to share this post of hers. I'm not going to play the music because we'll probably get hit. But she says, me trying to get Lyft to not discriminate against my weight and let me in the car. Would you have let me in? Anyways, meet me at the sexy right after. So this is her dancing. We're not going to play the music, obviously, but yeah. Archie, would you want to get with this? Look at that butt.
Okay, so this is just how my brain works, but right now I am audibly hearing the sound of chicken frying for some reason.
Ew! How can you think of food at a time like this?
Well, she kind of looks like a giant rotisserie chicken. I'm just saying.
My eyes! That's right, chat. So I actually want to go through the comments because some of these are very logical comments. I'm just going to make her stop wiggling.
This is not the jiggle physics I signed up for.
Is this the dank you were looking for, Kay?
No. I prefer Count Dankula.
Yeah, right. So she noticed that she's got limited comments on this post. So that's one thing. But a lot of these people are making logical sense, and her replies are just childish, victimizing bullshit, and just they're comical, honestly. So let's just look at this one first. I don't think Lyft is at fault. They have a right to decline. He offered to pay the money back and for her to order an extra large. He was being nice but thinking of his car. That car is how he earns money. Who's gonna pay for his shocks and struts, maintenance, etc.? I love your talent and you're a nice person, but an SUV would be a better fit. I come in peace. Now, I'm not sure if she replied to this one. I don't think she did. But there was one that she did reply to, and I gotta find it. Here it is. Okay, this is the one I like. So this is from Centenarius. I don't even know who she is. Anyway, she says, I'm a full-time Uber Lyft driver. We're independent contractors, not employees. We are using our own vehicles, and if we don't feel comfortable with the situation, we can deny service. The only time we cannot deny service is when people have service animals. She continues to say, I've denied entry to a woman only wearing a thong. I didn't want her bare ass in my seat. I've denied people for trying to use my personal vehicle as a moving van. I've denied service to people who are visibly sick and couldn't walk on their own, i.e. drunk. I've denied service to a man covered in blood. I've denied thousands of parents for not having car seats, which is the law. My point is that's my vehicle and I don't feel comfortable taking someone I won't. She says, I've lost 140 pounds. When I was bigger, I knew I had to move differently. This wasn't a personal attack on you. He didn't want you in this vehicle because he didn't think you could fit. I watched bigger and tall people struggle in and out of my Prius. If a situation arose where I knew it would make my rider uncomfortable, I would cancel and do the same, with no back and forth. Lyft is not at fault and neither is the driver. Sorry this was an inconvenience, but you're not a victim of discrimination. To which she actually replies saying, LOL, okay.
So that you're a victim of McDonald's.
That's right. So she's listen, she is not a victim here. She won't see anyone else's perspective, and now she's suing Lyft for discrimination. That is the gist of the dank. Art, your wonderful thoughts.
She has an OnlyFans.
What?
No.
No, I looked it up. She has.
I didn't even see that. Oh, she's got a link tree. Okay, so let's see. Does she have an OnlyFans? I won't pull it up, obviously.
There's an OnlyFans down the bottom there, yeah. Under the big MF Dank.
Oh, there it is! OnlyFans! Wow, innocent spoiled brat is her description.
Yep.
Wow.
18 videos.
Dude, like, so she's got 794 likes on something. I don't know how OnlyFans works. Are we able to see, like, her income or anything?
I don't think so.
Bummer. So she's got a YouTube channel now. That's fascinating. All right, pause. Shut up. Okay. Share this tab. Yeah, why not? So this is her YouTube. Dank Moss. She's a rapper. She's got 8.11k subs. My life as a plus-size rapper. Ew, there's fries and stuff. Oh my god. Did I get a lipo? So I don't know. Okay, you know what? Never mind.
Well, to be fair, I'm sure it requires a fair amount of fries to maintain that body there.
It
doesn't happen by itself.
Anyway, yeah.
You've successfully traumatized a lot of people today, Blabs. I just want you
Shout
to know
out, Dank.
I can go worse. Imagine if she slims down. The stretched fat doesn't go away and the skin, so she'd just be like a walking drapery.
She'd be a curtain.
Yes, she could probably fly if we found a building tall enough.
She could be like a flying squirrel with all of her extra skin.
Yes.
Like Superman, but not. Thank the rapper, she saves lives. You know? I'll be down. That'd be hilarious. Okay, how do you feel?
Is this why Craig called in sick?
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe I would call in sick too. Oh my god. Yeah, I think she should have just notified Lyft in advance. Hey, I'm kind of overweight at a level that's a bit more than normal, so I need a bigger vehicle. Like, can't you just order an XL or something? I don't know if this car is an XL because I know nothing about cars, but like usually in Uber and stuff, you have an option, right? That it's like, oh, I need this or whatever. So like, wouldn't you have the hindsight to do that? And if somebody shows up and they're like, hey, it's a safety hazard, I can't take you, you're going to sue them? They're trying to protect the safety of not just themselves, but also you.
Yeah.
What happens if the car just collapses?
Well, that too, but like, let's say she gets into a car accident. How can they pull her out? Without causing further injury. Exactly. Like, you wouldn't be able to pull her out. If you did, you would cause injury because you're yanking her out, which means you could hurt her even more, like whatever injury she's sustained. It's not safe. And she'd be like, LOL, okay, to when people are like logically explaining it.
Yeah. Poor attitude in general.
Very much poor attitude. So, yeah, she's kind of gross. I looked through her Instagram. I regret it, to be honest. She's listen, whatever. Anyway, let me hit up some super chats on this Dank. Charizard says she can't be mad. She hired Lyft, not a forklift.
That's true.
Jason says, was Craig too fat to get a lift to the studio? Well, Craig's studio's in his house, so he couldn't even manage to walk. What's up, Melee? Started your Kamen Rider journey yet?
No, I've been stuck playing a lot of Marvel Rivals because James wants me to play, so that's what my evenings are, and he's also making me watch Marvel Slop. Including on Valentine's Day, I have to watch the new Captain America movie because he's trolling me with it, so...
Why?
I'm in a very bad Marvel cycle right now that I want to get out of desperately.
I get it. Frostlord over on Rumble says, so Arch is a brony, Imperialist analysis, and a chubby chaser. Not sure I want to visit Norway anymore.
There's a fat pony, by the way.
What's that one's name?
Oh Nelly.
Whoa, oh Nelly. Okay, anyway. Let me see. Let me grab the ones just for this. Okay, the mystery says, of course this was what happens when Craig is not here. For Montez! Yes, thank you so much, guys. If we hit the 20 goal, we get Montez.
Right now we're at 10, by the way.
Nice. Shout out, chat. Speedy Cake says, hey, Blabs, I also have a sound clip from Corgi you could play to replace the Dustborn clip. Do I want to know? I don't know. I don't know, ma'am. Does Arch know a Norwegian witch we could contact to put a curse on the Kansas City Chiefs for the Super Bowl Sunday?
We don't have witches, but we used to have a healer who had warm hands. I don't know how that works, but he had warm hands.
Huh?
Yeah,
like
in opposed to cold hands, which would be de-healing.
Right. John says it looks like her clothes is trying to keep her together. It's like trying to like vacuum. She doesn't know how to wear the right size clothes, and they're all too small on her. Anyway.
I just got a vivid image of her in an enormous body condom.
What are you finding on the internet?
Oh, this isn't the internet. This is just my brain. It does this. It's all squished together like smiling.
Listen, just because you can say something doesn't mean you always should, Arch, you know?
If my brain shows me these images, I see no reason why I shouldn't share them with others.
Your brain's weird, bro. D-Day says, don't give Kay ideas for her fanfic. No problem.
I'm not writing 500-pound Titan fanfiction. It's not happening.
Bike Shorts says, she has balls for a belly.
I'm already thinking what the fat fanfic would be. Like, he reached down with his strong hands and started moving out of the way the 200 pounds of belly flab.
I just think it's funny how her name is Dank when Dank represents like the word of like musty and gross, right? It's like that's describing her body parts because there's no way she can clean all of it.
That's a good point. There's probably mold under there. Imagine all of the various bioluminescent life forms that might live between her flabs.
We gotta get like a biologist in there to come in and do some swabbing.
Unironically, you could have all kinds of funny funguses living there. Probably some small animals.
Imagine if she like finds her food in there. She's like, oh, so that's where my Dorito chip went. Snack for later.
Oh, she probably wouldn't find it because the animals would eat it, like worms, bugs, small creatures.
Ew, all the microorganisms living on this woman's body is disgusting.
Yeah, she drops a burrito down there. They can eat it. There's no problem there.
Thanks, Arch. Poor Kay. It's fine. Okay. Worthy one. What did you show? Why did you show that, Blabs? I just ate. Listen, there are some things we have to sacrifice for.
And hey, at least your food wasn't eaten by the microorganisms living in your belly button.
Can we clip that, Kay? Thank you. Harriet Tubman. All right, what's up, Tubby for 5? Damn, we gonna need a bigger tub. Gang, tubs out. Shout out, Tubby.
Good point. How does she bathe?
She's got a massive bathtub because she's literally the size of a bathtub, so she can't get in. She'll get stuck in a normal-sized one. Maybe she has a jacuzzi.
They'd have to hose her down, and she'd have to lift the flabby parts while somebody directs a hose at her.
How does she shave? She can't even see her legs.
With assistance, I guess. So there's somebody out there. There's somebody paid to shave her. Maybe this is what the government health services is for.
Maybe she does waxing or laser hair removal and all that stuff. But you gotta think about like how expensive that has to be, because waxing already is expensive as it is. Imagine being that big. You have extra skin and everything. It takes you 10 years to do it. It probably takes her a whole day to get her leg waxed.
You're assuming she would even try to do that to begin with.
Well, she's going around wearing like bikinis. She has to have it, otherwise
she's
it's like
wearing bikinis. I didn't know that.
And shit, like she's got her legs exposed. She definitely has to have some sort of shaving or hair ritual going on. Anyway,
it's very upsetting.
Anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying today's stream. John says Dank DeMoss versus Dave Blunt. Who will outlive the other?
I can't put down that cup.
I can't put down the cup. Speedy Cake says, as a professional courier, in my opinion, she needs one of those transit vans to travel in, and standard loading practices require that she sit in the middle so as to avoid overturning the vehicle. That's right. You got to keep it all balanced. That's hilarious. I didn't think of that. Dirtiest King says, this woman has been called a Pachacuti, for the earth shakes wherever she treads. Much of which has been lost behind her. She gives Ungoliant the meat sweats. I don't know what that is, but thank you. But Kay, I've seen your Marvel fanfics better than Disney stuff, but that's not hard to do.
The allegations are crazy. It's not true.
All right, let me see. Nathan says, having used Lyft, you have to manually select what option you need. And concerned she doesn't come off as a narcissist, Dank probably thought she didn't need the extra large option because I don't need it. Yeah, right? And Shane says, does Dank and all her fungi qualify her for the carpool lane? Oh, no.
Possibly. That would be a form of like communal transport, I guess.
Oh, no. That's disgusting. Wasp says, Dank looks like one of the Nurgle's great unclean ones. And McLeod says, after watching many episodes of My 600-Pound Life, chances are family is helping her maintain any kind of hygiene. Yeah, I've seen like those little episodes like on Facebook. I once watched this reel on Facebook where it was like this person was like 600 pounds. And I was watching it because I couldn't sleep at night. And then I was just terrified I'd become fat. So then I just couldn't sleep at all. So it was great. They're traumatizing those videos. Like, I will not get fat.
Gained 1 pound. Oh, God.
Yeah, it's happening. Okay. We're going to move on to something a little bit palate cleansing here. This is just, listen, it is what it is. I figured we need a palate cleanser, so here we are. It's skates better than I do.
This is the new Tony Hawk. This is amazing. I would also be afraid that that's going to tip over or something.
Right? Like, what a stud. Shout out Corgi.
Oh my god, the finish there too. That was amazing. I love him.
Right? Look at his cute little butt. Oh, look at him go!
I see a bunch of people in chat saying Tony Bork, Borky Hawk.
I like that.
Tony Dog. That's great, guys. I love it.
So I feel like this is a nice little palate cleanser after Dank. Something refreshing. I mean, who doesn't like this?
I don't want to ruin the moment, but all I see when that little animal's ass bounces down the stairs is a vivid mental image of Dank's ass bouncing down the stairs.
Why are you the way you are? How do you see a beautiful little four-legged creature like her? Reminds me of that bitch Dank.
Quite easily, actually, because her ass would probably flab up and down in much the same way.
Yeah, but this one seems to have a toned little adorable little ass. Look at it. Look at his little butt. And you're telling me that looks like Dank?
Yeah, sort of.
No, chat's right. Chat wins. Why are you like this? Arch is in love. Seek help. I agree, Arch. This is not okay. I don't like this behavior. Think about what you've done. Anyway, this one is for Arch, this next subject, because Arch likes Warhammer, and Kay and I have absolutely no idea what this is. Now, I don't know. Do you know if Warhammer comes after YouTube channels for playing their videos?
Yes, in fact, they had a whole thing where they killed every single fan channel that covered their stuff for a while.
So can I play this video?
Probably, but I'm offering no guarantees. It's marketing material, so you'd think they'd be fine with it, but
All right, well, listen, chat. This is the new trailer, and I have no idea what's going on. So, Arch, what's going on here? I can't play this just in case. I don't want to get yelled at by Craig.
Astares. So the first Astares came out a fair few years ago, animated by a brilliant 3D artist, Simo Peterson, I think. Amazing quality. It grew absolutely huge. It was released in these tiny little 10-second snippets until it was all done because he was doing it just by himself. It became incredibly popular and gained Games Workshop lots of good PR. So GW decided to ruin all of that by attacking every fan animation channel they could and saying, you either come work for us or we're going to sue your ass off. The creator of Astares was one of those who was hired under threat from GW and has since been producing some things for them. It's unclear whether or not he works for them directly or he's a contractor now. But the man himself is an absolute genius. And the Astares 2 trailer, I think this is part of his previous Astares 2 project that he was working on before being hired by Games Workshop, because I recognize some of the scenes in it. But graphically, it is beautiful. It is top tier animations, all done basically by one dude in his basement. It's amazing.
Okay. Kay, you got anything on that?
My brain doesn't register Warhammer. Many have tried. Right now, I need to watch a 20-minute summary from Insidious Bliss, so I've got some Warhammer research to do, because I saw the secret level Warhammer episode. I was like, oh, this looks cool. But my brain doesn't register Warhammer, but that's okay.
20 minutes? What are you talking about? I have series on my channel covering singular topics that run into 40 hours.
I've seen some that are 3 to 5 hours. I'm like, oh my god, I can't do it. But I'll start with the 20-minute one. We'll see where we get.
Yeah, just gotta start small. So are you excited for this Astares 2?
I am, because it looks amazing, but I also really hate the corporatization of it. The guy himself has done absolute art out of this, and it's really cool to see. And like, he's got the Nova Marines in there, he's got the Empress Sides, which is my favorite chapter ever, he's got the Death Watch. All of this is amazing, but I hate how GW has now corporatized it, because like, YouTube as a general thing used to be YouTube, where just people uploaded dumb videos of themselves playing Minecraft or in front of elephants, etc. And now it is becoming more and more corporatized, and I blame VTubers for this, at least in part. And this feels like a step towards that again, where you have a brilliant creator who makes something out of genuine passion for what he loves, and then the corporation comes in and goes, no, you work for us now, or we'll put a gun to your head. Like, I don't like it.
Okay, well, that was Arch's teaser trailer review. Because I don't know anything on Warhammer, and neither does Kay. Thanks, Arch. All right, Dash says, Montez, one of the few times I'm glad I'm listening and not watching. Yeah, you missed that on looking at Dank. John says, the local zoo is involved in her grooming and medical. Oh.
Ooh, alongside the gorillas. That would actually, yes. Like, you know how gorillas groom each other? Maybe that's how they get rid of the lice and the various animals that crawl around in her flabs. They would have the grip strength to lift apart the flabs and find them.
There's so many things you can respond to that with. I would play that meme, but I don't want to even go there. So, thank you for Who Day Buckeye for that. Just moving on. Anyway, okay. Did you guys know that gay mice are a thing?
They're
Gay
making the
mice,
mice gay
yes.
too now. What is this?
So, first mouse with two biological fathers reaches adulthood and breakthrough that could pave the way for gay men to have children. Now, there's an actual image here. How a mouse with two fathers is born. And I thought Arch would be fascinated by this, because obviously science! So, here we go. 1, the sperm is taken from one male and used to make stem cells. 2, the scientists edit the genes of these stem cells using Crisis. CRISPR. 3, the sperm is taken from a second male. 4, the sperm is combined with an egg created from the genetically edited stem cells. 5, the embryo is implanted into a surrogate, which means you still have to use a female anyway. And then 6, healthy offspring are born with genes from both fathers.
So what you're saying is you take a male sperm and you put it inside of a female. And he creates babies.
And
Wow.
now we're all gay together.
Holy shit, that's amazing.
This is honestly, chat, you are right. It's very much like cloning. It's like Dolly the sheep right there.
I mean, it's not cloning. Well, the point is you take the DNA data of two males and you combine them together. Therefore, theoretically, technically, you're creating a child of two males.
Yeah, but with the mother also. So technically speaking, isn't there like 3 people involved in this now too?
Yeah, I mean, this is pointlessly retarded, honestly. This is literally the why this is too many steps, and to fulfill somebody's weird fetish, I guess. I'd rather we go back.
Mouse.
I would rather we go back to funding Do Turnips Feel Pain than this, because I'm interested. Do turnips feel pain?
Do they?
We have had varying results so far.
How would you know they're in pain?
Oh, there's easy ways to measure pain. We've been doing that for quite some while. Starting in Germany, mid-century. Let's not go there. But anyways, yes, no, we've been studying whether or not plants can feel pain. Some can, we think.
I would assume they can because they're all living things and everything. All living things feel pain. So.
But not all living things are godly. Some living things, like fish, for example, are creatures of Satan and therefore do not feel pain.
How do you know that?
I know that because I don't like fish, and I know that because fish actually don't have pain receptors like we do.
So you're telling me that when a fish is stuck on land and going, he's not in pain?
Nope. He's in discomfort, but he's not intelligent enough to really register it, nor does it have the receptors to feel pain like we do, so no. That's also why it's fine to beat them to death with a rock.
No, it's not. Shit,
Yes,
man,
it
you're
is.
gonna get PETA coming on our asses.
How do you unalive your fish, then?
Chop off their head, just one swoop. That way they
Ah.
don't feel anything.
That's better.
It's a lot more humane than throwing rocks at them. Jesus Christ,
You don't
Arch.
throw them, you grab it to your fist and you...
No, dude. Where's Temple Grandin when you need her? God. Anyway, it's fine. Okay, so anyway, gay mice. Hip hip hooray. Anyway, let's move on from gay mice to Idris Elba. Because why not? Let me zoom in. Now, this comes from the BBC, and I thought this would be interesting to discuss real fast. So, Idris Elba on Stabbing Crisis. Not all kitchen knives need a point on them.
Mm.
That's right.
It's the funniest shit ever already.
Right. So, banning the sale of zombie knives is a positive step, but schools need to intervene early to help tackle the UK's knife crime crisis, says Idris Elba. The actor of 52 has spent the last year making a documentary for the BBC about solutions to knife crime, during which he met victims' families, police officers, and teenage offenders. Now, let's be real, there is a knife crisis, right? But I don't think it's stopping the knives that is going to do anything. I think it has to do with the mentality of certain people. But anyway, so he's like, not all kitchen knives need to have a point on them. That sounds like a crazy thing to say, but you can still cut your food without the point on your knife, which is an innovative way to look at it.
Now, I adore Idris Elba because he has plausibly cucked Trudeau, and that alone
What,
makes
he
me think of
did?
him. Oh yeah, quite possibly. He was alone in a room with Trudeau's wife for an unusual amount of hours, and I mean, look at him.
You know what? That's fair. Understandable.
So that alone makes me think fondly of Idris Elba, but he's clearly an idiot, or being paid very well to say this. Come on. If you take a spoon and you grab it hard and you shove that into somebody's soft bit, that will do damage.
Mhm.
Even if you take a knife and you blunt the tip, you can still stab people with that just fine.
You know, that's
Anything
fair.
made of metal, like you can take a screwdriver can be used for stabbing people. Like, this is not a knife problem. This is a can't continue that sentence problem.
Correct. So basically, this article does go on and talk about like the youth experience. How like this one kid, he started carrying a knife when he was 12 after a group of 20 boys started on him in a park in Coventry. One swung an axe at him. Like, this shit's wild. I understand what carrying a knife to defend yourself, obviously.
But maybe
when-
then the solution is to arm more children.
Exactly. And it's like, okay, well then maybe we shouldn't put points on knives because this is just stupid, and actually find the root problem, which is the people themselves are going insane and starting to kill people with knives.
Just put them in
Exactly.
straitjackets at this point. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna just keep banning things until there's not. You could grab a rock. We just talked about beating a fish with a rock.
Yep. It's
Throw on the
like
ground.
it's not. It's like guns aren't the problem. It's the people using them. It's the mental health crisis. It's all the above. You know, like
This is why
that-
you don't give up the right to bear arms.
And this is why we don't listen to celebrities with stupid opinions. Also.
Well, England needs to return to its roots. Let's arm the school children. Every child a sword. No,
You would love that, wouldn't you? Because you would probably have like a bunch of little kids running around with swords and be like, yes!
yes,
Oh, God!
They can defend it. Like, seriously, if there is the realistic possibility that you might be set upon by a group of 20 other children, maybe a sword is the solution.
Yeah, you know, like I said, there's a lot of problems in this knife crisis, but I don't think putting a point on a knife is going to fix anything, Idris. Let me see. Forget knives, make kids carry pole arms.
Yeah, well, it's heavy. They might not be, comfortable.
Right, all right. Let us move on. So we have one thing from the United Kingdom, but now we have another. Before I get to that, though, B. Barrett for 2 says, Arch plays Warhammer 40,000. Coincidentally, that's how much Dank weighs. And Craig Muffin says, come on, Dank, if you're supersize all 7 of your value meals, you need to supersize your Lyft. How hard is it? That is also true.
That is true. A good rule of thumbs. If you order extra large with your cars too, not just your lunch.
All right, so like I said, we have one United Kingdom news to another one. Like, I swear, that country's stupid, and I'm sorry and so forth that I have to say this, but yeah, really stupid country. So the next one is Netflix and Disney Plus users could be forced to pay a license fee even if they don't watch the BBC. Because in the United Kingdom, they have to pay a BBC fee for some reason, even if they don't watch it, and now they want to be able to do that through Netflix and Disney Plus.
Do you have a license for that streaming service? Like,
yeah, you want a license for that, mate. So the original article comes from Bloomsburg, but it's locked behind a paywall. So the best thing we got is theindependent.com. So the government is reportedly looking into asking Netflix and Disney Plus viewers to contribute to a license fee to secure the future of the BBC. As viewing habits evolve, the government could consider funding options to support the broadcaster when it revives the BBC's current royal charter, which will end in 2027. Now, Kay, what does the BBC stand for?
Oh, I know this.
I want to say British Broadcasting, but now I don't know.
I wasn't going to say that. I know that's the answer, but I was going to say something different.
Yeah, BBC is British Broadcasting Corporation, but I want to hear Arches because that's the real one.
No, you don't want to hear Arches.
Big black beep. Right. Okay. I was going to say, I'm like, do you know another one that's even worse? Anyway.
But the worst part is, like, this actually made sense once. The television license made sense at one point because you were going to go, okay, we are going to make a television channel that is for all the people of Britain. It's going to have variety programming, it's going to have news, all of this, and we are going to keep it separate from the politics and the government. It's going to be for you, the people, literally. And so you, the people, are going to pay for it via television license. Great. It's a wonderful way of keeping it independent from the powers that be. However, that is, of course, no longer the case whatsoever. And now it is simply just a tax on entertainment in general to maintain a decrepit organization that has long since outlived its usefulness.
Right. Okay. Well, there you go. It sums it up. Kay, you got anything?
That summed it up so perfectly. I don't even know how to follow that up.
Moving on. The United Kingdom sucks. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. That's the moral of the story today. The UK sucks.
Yeah, we don't listen. Okay, fix your knives and fix your television. I did miss this. I just saw that, Shane. Thank you very much for this. All right. It says, "Hey Arch, I had to let you know that Kay has an amazing fan fiction about a middle-aged Norwegian man with bland taste that fights local crime with hand grenades. It's a blast."
Sounds like Sweden. They stopped keeping record of the hand grenade attacks over there because they were too frequent.
Yeah, that's fair. Saint D says BBC is the big bully Craig. I mean, that's right.
That's the
fair.
best one. I love that.
Nathan says, having seen my fair share of jury-rigged prison weapons, I'd say the problem is the people who made them in the first place. Crazy, huh?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can take a toothbrush, and if you put a point on it, you can stab somebody with that.
It's oddly specific. I feel like you have more information on that.
Well, I may have had a brief period in my youth where we tried to figure out how to make lethal weapons out of various things we had lying around our houses. Fun fact, you can make bombs out of a lot of funny things.
Go on.
I once created basically an incendiary agent in a frying pan. That didn't work out particularly well, but at least I didn't burn out any part of my house, so...
Yeah, I thought you were like, I exploded Legos. Yay! But no.
Oh, no. I was far too old for Legos. I was making napalm.
Right. Okay. Jonathan says, by the way, we have found Arch's repellent. It's cream. It repels them like garlic to a vampire. He banishes them either way or to the toilet.
True. I don't like cream. That's just... I don't like it. Not the texture, the taste. Oh, no.
Like,
what kind of cream? Like, I think like hand cream.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about like body
from...
cream,
Oh.
moisturizer.
Yeah.
Why would you
cream.
eat it?
The cream you eat on
Oh,
cakes.
whipped cream.
Yes.
Okay, I thought you were talking about eating like moisturizer, and I'm like, well, that's a bit weird, but you know what? It's Arch. I'm not gonna judge. He likes bronies.
It'll make you soft on the inside. All good.
That's right. All right, let us move on because we still have a lot to discuss. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about, which is centered around politics, but I don't want to talk about the politics. I want to talk about what's actually happening. So this comes from Charlie Kirk. And it says, breaking, the White House press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, makes some huge news about changes to which outlets will be allowed in the Brady briefing room, including podcasters, bloggers, social media influencers. And I just want to play the clip. It's 1 minute and 15, but I think it's worth listening to. So here we go. Let's go.
This White House believes strongly in the First Amendment. So it's why our team will work diligently to restore the press passes of the 440 journalists whose passes were wrongly revoked by the previous administration. We're also opening up this briefing room to new media voices who produce news-related content and whose outlet is not already represented by one of the seats in this room. We welcome independent journalists, podcasters, social media influencers, and content creators to apply for credentials to cover this White House. And you can apply now on our new website, whitehouse.gov/new media. Starting today, this seat in the front of the room, which is usually occupied by the press secretary's staff, will be called the new media seat. My team will review the applications and give credentials to new media applicants who meet our criteria and pass United States Secret Service requirements to enter the White House complex. So in light of these announcements, our first questions for today's briefing will go to these new media members whose outlets, despite being some of the most viewed news websites in the country, have not been given seats in this room.
So, pretty cool. Arch, your thoughts?
Well, it makes sense. Why not? Now, I do think that there does need to be some kind of requirements. You can't have every guy with 5,000 subscribers walking into the White House, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But why not? Alternative media reaches as many, if indeed not more people today than the traditional broadcasting media. So why shouldn't they have a seat at the table? I mean, you're already offering up White House seats to newspapers with a circulation significantly smaller than, well, this very channel, I bet. So, yeah, no, get with the times.
I agree. Kay, your thoughts?
Please put Alex Jones in there, please.
Oh my God.
I need it. I need it so bad. This is amazing.
hilarious.
And you know what? Old media is going the way of the dinosaur. Look at all these media companies laying off people. Nobody's listening to them anymore. It's just really in the background and like, you know, a break room or like an airport or something. But not a lot of people are really paying attention to these people anymore. All the traffic is on the news. On like YouTube and stuff now. So this is great. This is just, I'm so happy that we're finally embracing modern what it is. People love to listen to YouTubers. Let's bring them in. That's where people get their information now. We needed citizen press because the media failed us. So get those voices in there.
Yeah, I find this to be very, honestly, progressive is the word, because it's getting with the times. It's realizing that the youth don't follow the news like they used to. So this is like how to get news to a new generation. That's what it is. I'm for this. I think it's great. Now, I just really hope that they really vet these people out and it's not like some schmuck walking in with 2 cents of followers. So yeah, I think it's great. All right, let me hit up some supers before we move on. And yes, somebody in the chat was asking if we have gaming news. We do, so stick around. Marlon for 5 says, Nepal is easy to make, just need some soap and a flammable liquid.
Yeah, largely.
The more you know. BBC stands for Bloody Bummer CH. Arch, right after they fired Jeremy Clarkson, and happy birthday to Clarkson's mentor, Tsuchuya Keiichi, the king? I'm sorry, I don't know how to say that name, but thank you. All right, let us move on. So we do have some gaming news, and the first one is like congratulations, you're trying. We have a Destiny 2 Star Wars crossover revealed. Does anyone fucking play Destiny anymore? I haven't played Destiny in 2 years.
This might bring people back, honestly, if you could find some Star Wars fans that still care.
I was about to say, bring people back to what? To Star Wars or to Destiny?
Exactly. So
maybe Destiny. I mean, aren't the vehicles kind of inspired by the speeder bikes and stuff anyways in Destiny? There's some correlation between Destiny and Star Wars and inspiration. So I feel like it might bring some people back that are big fans of Destiny and also are big fans of Star Wars. But the thing is so many of us Star Wars fans are so disenfranchised now that it's really hard to care about remember this thing from Star Wars? We put it in this game for you. I don't know.
I'm getting emotion similar to the pregnant male mice here, in that this appears to be something targeting a rather microscopically niche audience.
Wow. Well, okay. So I don't think this is going to save anybody because this is like a dead franchise playing with a dead franchise. But if you are interested at what this is, so a stormtrooper, a Praetorian guard, Death Trooper outfits are on the way alongside a ghost shell theme around the second Death Star. It even has a cute little green energy beam. Additional Star Wars items will include emotes, a finisher, and Sparrow vehicle, which should be interesting as Destiny's default Sparrows has always been closely inspired by Return of the Jedi speeder bikes. Destiny 2 Star Wars Cosmetics will be available when the game's next update, Heresy, arrives next week on Tuesday, February 4th.
Great name, Heresy. That's perfect description of all of this.
This is. So yeah, I don't know who's going to play this. The only person I know who still plays Destiny, and I don't even know if he still does, is Adam Krigler. He's a Destiny fanboy, but that's all I got. All right, so now here we're going to talk about Nintendo for a little bit, but it's not what you think it is, and I thought this story was so funny that we had to discuss it. So, Nintendo loses trademark fight against Super Mario Supermarket. Just let that sink in. So what is this? Okay, a Costa Rican supermarket has claimed victory against Nintendo in a trademark battle over its name, Super Mario. The Super Mario shop in San Ramon is allegedly named as such because it's a supermarket run by a local man named Don Jose Mario Alfaro Gonzalez, or Mario for short. But despite trading under Super Mario name for decades, Nintendo recently took an interest when Mario's son attempted to renew the shop's registered trademark. So let's just keep going. In a post on the shop's Facebook page with Carlos Charlito Alfaro maintains alongside working his dad Mario's shop. Alfaro says he first registered Super Mario Shop as a brand shortly after graduating from university in 2013. Last year, it was time to renew the registration, which prompted Nintendo to get involved. Thank you enormously to my legal advisor and account, Jose Eduardo Jimenez Blanco, who took care of the registration and the subsequent fight for the right to a trademark. For a moment, we thought about throwing in the towel. How are we going to fight against such a commercial monster? More with the amount of legal documents submitted by them to ensure victory. Well, by that, Eduardo and I stood firm, and a few days ago we received the good news. Super Mario's here to stay. So while Nintendo has trademarked use of Super Mario worldwide under numerous categories, including video games, clothing, and toys, it appears the company did not specifically state anything about the names of supermarkets, and there's your little way in. So there it is, everybody. Super Mario stays. Woohoo!
Nintendo, why? Like, why did you even pursue this? This makes no sense to me. Let the little man just do his little market. Who cares?
I thought it was great.
That is so funny. I'm glad they won, but what?
It's probably just like their own little trademark lawyers going like, oh, super, like Mario trademark, file the perfunctory lawsuit just for shits and giggles, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, yes, but it's still really funny. And it does continue and says, apart from the Super Mario name, the shop's logo is otherwise devoid of reference to Nintendo. It's a simple yellow and dark blue design with the wording Super Mario, su lugar de confianza, which translates to Super Mario, your trusted place. That, I love it. That is hilarious, amazing. I'm for it. Shout out, Costa
I'm just stunned. I'm just stunned that Nintendo even pursued that one. I mean, I always make the joke that Nintendo will sue over anything. And like, I think we showed it a few weeks ago or whatever, but the kid that made the Super Mario cardboard and stuff like that, I made a joke that like they would sue him for that. Who knows? Maybe that'll happen. Maybe they'll find little migrant kids in random countries and sue them for saying, I like a Mario. It's everything. It's crazy.
Well, okay. Yeah, that's fair. All right, so let me just hit up some super chats. AJ said it himself yesterday in social. Thank you very much. How come that Disney as Star Wars crud exists when there's Warframe and Blue Archive? And Blabs, I give that a pronunciation 8 on 10. Well, thank you very much. AJ's been offered a seat to White House press room. Oh, Alex Jones. Okay, very cool. All right. Let me see. Did I get everybody on Rumble for now? Yes, I did. Okay. So moving on from Nintendo, let's go to Marvel Snap. Now, if you guys remember, Marvel Snap was affected temporarily by that TikTok shutdown ban, however you want to call it. So now, this also comes from Eurogamer. Marvel Snap confirms new publisher after going dark during TikTok outage to ensure this never happens again. So in a statement, Second Data said it already signed agreements and started to work to bring almost all operational and publishing responsibilities in-house with support from Skystone Games, a US-based indie games publisher. Second Dinner has previously pledged to ditch its current publisher, Newverse, in order to avoid any further disruption. Marvel Snap went offline in the US for over 24 hours and was pulled from the app stores in the country as a result of Newverse parent company being ByteDance, the Chinese owner of the social media app TikTok. Now, to me, this sounds like a smart idea. Obviously, you don't want to deal with people who can just disappear on the app store after a couple minutes. So, Arch, your thoughts just based off of that?
Well, obviously, for their own security and continued operation, they'd want to find themselves somebody else to stick by, obviously. Mm-hmm. And I imagine Marvel, too, is probably going to be looking at some of their most popular entities right now, like Rivals as well, and making sure that they want to move those out to other companies. I don't think they're going to be able to, mind you, because I think Marvel, what is that? Is that NetEase, Tencent? Which one?
Yeah, it's NetEase, yeah.
NetEase, there you go. I don't think they're going to let them go, so that'll be an interesting tug of war, I suppose. But obviously, for the company's own sake, they want to be able to move away from things that could be cancelled or declared enemies of the United States, for example.
Okay, any thoughts?
Very logical move. It's scary that just at the snap of a finger, Thanos snap anyone. I'm cringing at my own joke there. But, like, seriously, the fact that, like, that can just disappear, like, they must have been so frantic. Because the thing with the ByteDance thing is, too, we didn't realize how many things would be randomly affected. Like, wasn't CapCut also randomly gone? And,
yes,
like, things that we just didn't even think of. We didn't realize what they owned. So it's always a scary position to be in when, like, at the snap of a finger, you can just be gone. And absolutely, they should look at a different option or try to self-publish or whatever they can. So that they don't have to worry about that. But it's just a lesson, and you just never know. Everything is temporary.
You know, like, I asked this question, was it like a week or so ago, and I still don't know the answer to this, but like certain things that were owned by ByteDance, you can have subscriptions to. For example, CapCut, you can actually pay to have like the unlimited version of it, no stupid ads, everything's unlocked, whatever. Now, how does that affect you, the payer, when this app is no longer available for use for X amount of hours, right? And that's the same with Marvel Snap. I'm pretty sure there's microtransactions in that game, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm always wondering how this affects people, but I haven't seen any actual results yet. I've never seen anything where they say, oh, you know, you get a partial refund or whatever the case is, some incentive, right? I haven't seen any of that, so.
I assume they would treat it like an outage and they would try to like compensate the customers. That would be my guess.
I would hope.
It depends on the thing. Like sometimes with crypto, if like a company is shut down in a certain country, they'll still have it that you can contact their customer service to access stuff afterwards. So there probably was some kind of recourse. I mean, obviously this was only 24 hours, so they probably didn't even have time to really flesh that out. But there's always a way of making it work.
Yeah. All right. So, Arch, have you ever played Dino Crisis?
I have not actually, no.
Well, then never mind. I was going to be like, look, everybody, Dino Crisis 1 and 2 are now available on GOG for $16.99. Yay!
Great news for preservation. I'm happy. Dino Crisis scared me back in the day. It was
I've
like
never played.
Super freaky. It's like a survival horror type game, and it's Capcom, right? So it's kind of got that like Resident Evil old school jank to it. And I remember seeing like severed bodies and blood everywhere and dinosaurs jumping out. It was scary. Those graphics were scary. But I'm so glad that GOG is doing this kind of stuff because we need preservation of these games. And a lot of this stuff doesn't run on like Windows 11 and stuff like that anymore. And we're all getting forced into these new OSs. So it's awesome that they're really trying to preserve stuff. I'm happy.
All right. Great. So listen, I've not played Dino Crisis, but I'm happy for people who want to do and preserve the games, I should say. Blabs would love it, says chat. Honestly, I kind of think I would. I've been really playing Nunholy. Arch, have you been playing Nunholy?
I have not. I've seen it. It looks amusing, but I haven't tried it.
The TLDR, it's like a roguelike game, right? You can pick from 3 different hottie batatis. I picked the middle one. Her name is Marie, and she's got the really big boobs. And she throws fire grenades. So I'm really happy with this choice because I like pyrotechnics and blowing stuff up. But actually, it's a fun game. Like, the graphics are very smooth. It's fun. I like it a lot. I recommend. It was on Steam sale. I think it was like $10 or whatever. So try it out if you like tits. That's my advertisement there. Anyway, has anyone here played any God of War video games?
No.
Really?
You know what? The only one I will ever go to is the old school PS2 ones, but I refuse to play Dad of Boy, the new ones. I'm not into it.
That's fair. So, if anyone cares to know, this is just a huge quick hit. Next God of War game is reportedly centered around Egyptian mythology. And it says Sony is casting Middle Eastern actors for an unknown AAA game, which is likely to be the next God of War that explores Egyptian mythology. Which I think is just hilarious because are they mocap or are they like voice acting? Because if it's voice acting, who the hell cares if they're Egyptian or Middle Eastern or whatever? But whatever. It says it's important to note that this information hasn't been confirmed or independently verified by Insider Gaming. Until that happens, please take this news with a grain of salt. So potentially Egyptian God of War. Would you be down to play that?
Sounds suspiciously similar to Assassin's Creed Japan, honestly. Decided as a setting more for the ethnical parts rather than necessarily it making good gameplay sense, but who knows, might be good.
Okay.
We was Kratos and shit.
We was Kratos and shit.
Yeah. That's what I'm expecting.
From the Black Pharaoh. Oh dear.
I get there's like character progression and all this stuff with him and whatever, but I like the old school, like sexy babes everywhere type God of War. That's what interests me. So I get depressed when I see this like more realistic, like he's just, I don't know, he looks sad. I don't know if I want to play it. Let my people go.
What people? Oh god. Anyway, I love it. That's hilarious. Okay, Mom945 says, end of service. A lot of the games you agree to the EULA that if they shut down or something like that, it's an SOL deal. And then also Mama says, can vouch for the Nunholy game. I bought it on a whim and it was surprisingly fun. Just a hack and slash stage roguelite with great assets. I see what you did with the great assets. I get you. All right, let me hit up some more super chats before we get to our last couple stories. Chark says Kingdom Hearts is bad, actually. Well, alrighty then. Angela gifted 1 membership. Thank you so much. And a reminder, guys, I cannot see direct donos. So when Craig returns, we'll be able to read them all. Jaeger says, Arch just described his favorite finish after sauna experience, to swim in icy waters.
That's true. It's actually quite nice after a very, very heated sauna experience, because you get warm. Very warm.
Well, yeah, no, I've actually done that where, like, you stay in a really nice hot tub or something and you jump in cold water. I've done that before. Solon says, Transformers, retract and retreat. Okay. Xylon says, can these BB Americans not give Skynet an excuse? Okay. Charizard says, they're like the monkeys with the obelisk painting. I don't know what that's referring to, but okay. Commodore Fan says, is it ghetto trash, Yogi? Yes, boo-boo, it always is. Doppelganger says, I bet that beach smells dank. Ew. The reason her name is Dank, isn't there? Marksman says, urban youth versus the food bots. Arm race has become. Sly says, Dank and her knee need a forklift. Ew. Charizard says, why does she have an on her stomach?
Real monsters.
Chris says, hello there, everyone. Arch, have you seen the Astartes 2 trailer? And if so, what are your thoughts? Well, we discussed that previously. Yes. Marksman says, Arch, no, Craig, so explain the Weimar duck to them.
I don't know if Blabs has deserved to know about the Weimar duck, honestly.
Oh, does that mean I'm too great for this world? I don't need to know what the Weimar duck means.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone really needs to know what the Weimar duck is about.
Is it actually about a duck?
Yes.
What'd you do to the duck?
Me? Nothing. Okay, so I've been educating people on Weimar Germany recently. Because Weimar Germany is a period of history that's practically been wiped out of public records. Like, do either of you know anything about Weimar Germany?
No.
I know bits and pieces. I know it's pretty degenerate.
Yes.
Considered the fall of man, and that some people consider we're going through another Weimar.
Very much so. I brought this up in context to another video, and it's a defense on pornography and how we have not reached the limits of degeneracy yet. And Weimar Germany was my example of degeneracy. As the Weimar duck was a common tale around the time where you would purchase a duck, a male duck specifically, then you would have sex with the duck, ejaculate inside the duck, kill the duck while still inside the duck, and then eat the duck, ejaculate and all. This was because then you could experience the joys of bestiality, homosexuality, necrophilia, and gastronomy all at once. Welcome to Weimar Germany.
Why does my brain go to, did it taste good though?
Well, it probably did. I mean, once you fry it up.
That's awful. I hate it.
This, incidentally, is the origin of, and then one day suddenly they voted for Hitler.
This is awful. I can't.
Why did I mute myself? Leave the ducks alone. Oh, no. Anyway, Charter says she'd be a little... Thanks. Solon says humanoid spinning top. I want to get Lyft. Barch. Well, you just to increase your speed to offset the drag, and there you go. I'm just sad now. MP says on the plus side, Miss Chonk Rapper will add nicely to the wall of flesh to hold off the zombie horde one day. Mercy says, "Am I weird for the leg hole?" I've nothing arch, dude. You are so weird though for the leg hole. 100% mercenary. Trauma fan says, I'm at work and I'm glad I'm wearing earbuds today. I'm really glad you are too. Marlon says, Arch sounds like a hell of a party planner. It gives new meaning to a pecking duck, in my opinion.
It does. It does. Like whole new meaning to marinate as well.
That is disgusting. Disgusting. I need that the Alex Jones clip. Disgusting. Ugh. Anyway, Zalon says the fan channel should have seen the GW in court. It's true, they should have. Charitard says, except now the mouse has double the gay genes. Lucifer says, I'm gonna say it really slow for you. Gay frogs. Thank you very much. What's wrong with the French people? Ha ha ha. Anyway, Jacob says, I think this was the plot of the movie Twins. What are the long-term medical side effects? Oh, of the mice? Good question. I mean, it just happened, so we don't know.
The mice or the duck? I don't know which one anymore.
I think it was about the duck. I thought about the mice. Mercer says, Arch, tell him about the PLN of... No, listen, stop. We just did that. That's the beginning of gene editing. And Dark Flawed, that's hilarious. Warn me next time when you're going to bring on Shamu. Geez, SeaWorld got the tub for her. This show is crazy and y'all are racist. The fact that we have Dark Flawed now, hilarious. I'm screenshotting this. And shout out, we got Dark Flawed join the show. Thank you very much. All right, Bike Shorts. Remember, chat, our waifus will always disappear when their gacha dies.
Don't tell me that.
Anyway, okay, listen, I'll get the rest of the super chats in a bit. We need a timeline cleanse. Okay, so here we have a Call of Duty legal quest to make Activision unban a player's account. And it took 763 days. Now, I actually have gone through this entire article, and it's a lot, so I'll just give you the gist of it. This player was banned unjustifiably so, on the context of that he was cheating. Somehow he was using some type of software that was helping him cheat. And every time he would say, "How am I cheating? Please provide examples," through email, through phone call. He was trying to call Activision. They would be like, "We can't provide that information because that goes against our anti-cheating and they could reveal secrets, yada, yada, yada." Even though he was like, "Just tell me how I did it." But they couldn't do that. So in the end, he went through this service, and I have to find it again because it was so stupid. He tried to go through Activision one more time and used the ticket system, and they just didn't want to help him out. So he went to the alternative dispute resolution and like to settle the matter with an NDA and everything. And it was shot down by Activision or like again. So then he went in and did a money claim online, which was basically saying he wanted his money back and he just wanted his account activated again. And so Activision ignored this. So he automatically won and Activision paid up, but the developer stood firm against lifting the ban. So he was still banned after all this time. So I'll read it from here now because it gets juicy here. It's a bit small for you guys, so let me zoom in. There we go. Okay. So Activision paid me out, but still refused to remove the suspension placed on my account. Their reasoning was that the courts did not order them to do so, therefore they wouldn't. I am sure they wish they had done so because it ended up costing them in the long run, which, by the way, it doesn't actually say how much it cost them unless they count his fees. So the next step, Bolin was filing a non-money claim, and after Activision passed the case off to a law firm, Bolin tried settling the case with them. In exchange for paying court fees and getting unbanned, the agreement stated he would not take this matter any further and would sign an NDA regarding the terms of the agreement. Unfortunately, this was also shut down. So now we're 3-4 times Activision saying no. So by the time Bolin actually stood in front of a judge in a court, he had amassed a great deal of information and examples to help his case. This included presenting his squeaky clean record in other games like CS2, in which he has over 1,000 hours, pointing out they didn't want the money, just the ban lifted, and that after this case was closed, he wanted nothing to do with Activision. He had come prepared, so Bolin was surprised when the defendant presented their case and it became clear that they didn't have any concrete evidence to prove that he actually cheated. This meant that if I didn't commit any abusive process within the courts, my case would be heard and Activision would have no evidence to show why they are claiming. It would all appear that Activision's anti-cheat/security team is so strict that people they hired to defend them were not allowed to see any evidence of the unauthorized software or manipulation of game data, which that sounds really stupid to me. Activision can't defend themselves here if it's even a defense, right? Because they're ordered not to speak. In the end, the judge that found that Bolin should have his suspension removed on Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, and Warzone, and Activision must pay the claimants 711 British pounds fixed costs thanks to all the examples that he put forward and a lack of evidence presented by the defendant. But that's not all. The judge also found Activision to be the one in violation of the contract. And with that, 2 years of phone calls, emails, reading pages of legal jargon had finally come to an end. So basically, all he got after 2 years was $711 worth of money for Activision to pay. He got his account unbanned, and then he quit Activision after that. I get you want your justice if you're justifiably banned, but I don't know. I feel like you should have gone for money here after 2 years because clearly Activision was at fault.
Yeah,
way more than $700 too. Come on.
Yeah.
You definitely should have gone for the money there at that point too. But Activision as well? That is so absurd. They must have spent tens of thousands in lawyer fees and various nonsense, and they could just have gone yeah, bro, we checked it out. We don't really have anything. Here's your account back.
Exactly.
This could have been solved in a 3-minute conversation.
Instead of dragging on for 2 years. Insane. This guy has integrity though, because 2 years is a long time to just go after this unbanning. But apparently he had help from a Discord server. And I'll just show it here. It's called the COD False Ban Community Discord, where players join after they've been rightfully banned from the Activision Call of Duty games. And so they all join up together and they all show like receipts and things and try to help each other get their accounts unbanned. So I think that's kind of interesting that this exists and that there's a community of like players who have been wrongfully banned and now they're trying to get their shit sorted. So there's a fun fact for you guys, but I don't know. I personally would think that there should have been more to the story than just being like, all right, use your account. I'm never using it ever again. But fuck you, Activision. Like, I don't know. I think after a bit, there should be money in this, but whatever.
Principle of the matter, I guess. I understand. I don't know if I would spend 2 years to that commitment. I would probably just be like, okay, screw this game, and then just laugh at them publicly. But I mean, in the money part, I get that because you probably invested a bunch in the game and everything. It's just, yeah, the getting unbanned and then instantly being done with it it's kind of funny. Like, I get the principle of it, but I would just be like, I'm good at this point.
It's very much the Elon Musk moment. I don't know if we still have him. Do we have it? I guess we don't. We don't have the Elon Musk go fuck yourself, because like that would have been perfect, because that's basically what he was doing. Any final thoughts on that before I hit up some super chats, Arch?
No, not really. It just seems absurd.
Yeah, a bit. All right, Bike Short says, Arch, you've been banned from side scrolls. No, the internet. And by the way, chat, stay tuned because we have some Assassin's Creed news to finish up the day. All right, let's see. Ian says, how long does the duck need in the oven?
Well, you'd probably want to at least, evaporate the ejaculate, I'd imagine, so a while.
Okay, the ghost says, I'm like 5 minutes behind because of the Faraday cage tier working conditions, but please, Titanfall 3, let Apex go away. I actually really love Apex Legends. I'm that guy. But I haven't been able to play because every time I want to play it, it fucks up or it hacks people. So that's cool. Knight says, the more you know. That's right, the more you know. And Gear says, oh no, not again. Correct. Honey Badger says, we've got a new intro for Arch now. Correct. I guess so. And Cold Acid says, it's about sending a message, which I agree, it is about sending the message. But at that point, it's like, you should have gotten something more out of it for 2 years. I'm just saying. Okay, now let's go to the final story of today. Now, I want to emphasize here that this, guys, is a rumor. We don't have a confirmed source. We don't have a real lead on this. So please take this with a grain of salt. Do not be it's there on the internet. It must be true. We don't know. But this is from That Park Place. It says, exclusive. Let me zoom for you guys. Exclusive Assassin's Creed Shadows delay was to scale back Yasuke after historical backlash. So let me get to the article. It says, Ubisoft made headlines recently by delaying the game a whole month. Many assumed at the time the Shadows was a buggy mess, similar to Ubisoft's Outlaws when it launched. And while that may have been true, early hands-on streams have shown more than a few glitches and bugs. We have it in good authority that there's something else going on behind the scenes. Now, I want to point out that Craig actually made this live stream today, and he spelled it Yatsuke. He put a T in Yasuke, and I'm like, dude, FYI, there's no T here. And I went and fixed it on everywhere except for Kick, because I can't fix Kick. Anyway, okay. Yasuke's fall from grace. Assassin's Creed Shadows focus to Naoe. Is that how you say her name? Naoe? I'm assuming?
I guess. Yeah, that's how I'd pronounce it.
All right. As YouTube host SkillUp mentioned after playing the game for 5 hours, he primarily played as Yasuke, but noted that the experience was vastly different and inferior compared to playing as Naoe. According to him, Yasuke lacks the same versatility as Naoe, not just in combat, but also in exploration. Surprisingly, Yasuke doesn't have the same opportunities, such as climbing higher towers. This gave the impression that Yasuke is locked into a more limited one-dimensional role within the game, which is kind of interesting. And I kind of figured that from the gameplay that we saw last week. When I was watching it, it was very heavily focused on the woman, and it was barely focusing on the man. All right, so that aligns with the rumor recently communicated by a Back Park Place source speaking under the condition of anonymity. So again, guys, we don't know who is the source. We don't know anything, so please take this with a grain of salt. According to our source, the $20 million delay of Assassin's Creed was not merely to polish the game, but to shift focus away from Yasuke as the main protagonist. which I'm not gonna lie, kind of makes sense with that poster that was released last week, where like Yasuke was kind of hidden, and like Naoe, whatever her name was, kind of up front too. Do you guys remember seeing that?
Yeah,
Yep.
and I think
Okay.
it makes sense as well. Yeah.
All right, so let's continue. Evidence of this can already be seen in the marketing, where Yasuke is increasingly absent from prominent posters that feature Naoe more prominently instead. This appears to be a reaction to the backlash of Ubisoft has faced, not only from longtime fans of the franchise, but also many Japanese critics angered by Yusuke's portrayal as a far more significant historical figure than he actually was. Furthermore, rumors suggest that many of Yasuke's quests, including main and side content, have been removed or heavily altered. These cuts are reportedly intended to avoid offending Japanese audiences and historians who have criticized the game's historical inaccuracy. A significant portion from the controversy ties back to Thomas Lockley, whose work Ubisoft allegedly used as the primary inspiration for Yusuke's character. And it then goes on, says Lockley, co-authored African Samurai, a legendary black warrior in feudal Japan, has been grossly exaggerating and fabricating much of Yusuke's history. His portrayal has been widely debunked by historians who argued that Yasuke was likely a bodyguard and a servant rather than a legendary samurai, as Lockley claimed. And it just kind of goes on from there. So their rumor is essentially that he is no longer the main protagonist. Now, what are you guys' thoughts just on that?
Well, he was already kind of confirmed quite some time ago to not really be like the assassin type. That was always supposed to be the girl who was the sneaky style, and he's more of like the brawly, take things up front guy. So I don't know. I'm a little bit skeptical to the idea that they shifted the focus, especially in such a short amount of time. Like, a couple of months delay is nowhere near enough for a major production like this to seriously change much of anything, much less add or remove entire major mechanics, I'd say. As bearing in mind, if Yasuke was supposed to be able to climb towers and walls and whatever else and do the same assassin-y stuff, they'd have to rebalance the entire game around the assumption that he can't now. So I think this is more just that they've, I don't know, an optimistic take on what the game was supposed to be already. But at the same time, they have also been kind of downplaying him in the marketing. So I don't know how much is wishful thinking and how much is real, if that makes sense.
What about you, Kay?
I almost wonder if they're going to front load it with the girl just to make people feel like it is actually changing. But then as you progress further into the game, it's going to kind of resort back to what they originally planned. Obviously, with these delays, it's clear that they're panicking with something and they're trying to like desperately, scrape something together to make it better. And when I saw the first trailer, I thought, why not focus on the girl? Like the girl's combat seemed fine. I was kind of more into it. So it's entirely possible. I do definitely agree. Take this with a grain of salt. This is absolutely a rumor. We don't know who the source is or anything. And like I said, there's a lot of bait and switches that happen nowadays. So it's very likely that they want something like this to leak out so people show interest in the game. So a lot of us go like, oh, hey, the game is improved. Maybe I'll check it out now. Because if you lower the expectation, people will be like, oh, it looks a little bit better. Sure, maybe. And I think that's what they're banking on at this point. So maybe I agree that it's an optimistic take, and I have a feeling that it might be a few missions here and there, but realistically, we're still going to see a lot of this guy, and it's going to mostly be in the same image that it was originally.
All right. Well, there is more to this article. So it says, from Samurai to Creed, Ubisoft rewrites Yasuke's role in Assassin's Creed Shadows, which again, I kind of am dubious because they don't have enough time to like refine and like redo a whole lot, So it says the delay was used to refine Naoe's parkour system significantly and to heavily alter many dialogue interactions between Yasuke, Naoe, and NPCs throughout the story. However, as a source mentioned, they could only do so much. So with that, I'm wondering, like, the only way to really confirm that they went and redid stuff was if the voice actors and whoever else was involved in all these things came back in to film or do more dialogue and things like that and just change up the dialogue, right? Then you'll be like, okay, well, maybe there's something to this because they came back and redid stuff like a reshoot,
Yeah.
And so it says, among these dialogue changes were discussions where Yasuke was previously presented as a samurai and celebrated for his renown among Japanese NPCs. And now it seems this has been altered to focus on the Creed, which will be built by both main characters, with Naoe taking a more prominent role. Ubisoft has also reworked cutscene with Yasuke, who was initially featured more prominently with Naoe, now portrayed as the driving force of the duo. From what we understand, it feels almost as though Naoe had taken the lead role, even though players will still have the option to switch between the two characters. Our sources state that the delay was primarily aimed to reevaluate Yasuke's role to avoid further bad press from historical fanatics. So this makes me interested, and I feel like the only way to really verify this is to actually just play the game when it releases and see what was supposed to be there and how it actually is now, like the final product. Right?
I don't like the use of historical fanatics. Like normal
I don't like that
people
either.
are just like, you're clearly making I don't know. I just hate that because they're just trying to write it off as like only people that obsess over these things would actually care, and it's like no, a lot of people care. They just if you're gonna claim you're historically accurate, then do it.
It's a gaslighting, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Like the fanatics, they're upset. It's like, no, you claim you're historically accurate, but then you go and do all this bullshit. So clearly you're not historically accurate. And I know it's just a video game, but don't claim that you are, you know?
Yep.
And it just kind of goes on about like the watermelon gate and all these other things. So yeah, that's honestly the TLDR of it, that they've changed up some things and now Naoe seems to be more prominent. So there it is. Arch, your final thoughts on that?
I don't know if we'll ever know unless something like proper leaks, like design documents or internal notes. Because even when we're playing it, how do we know how much of a focus was supposed to be on Yasuke? How much was supposed to be on Assassin Chick and so on? So, I don't know. Like, you would think that Ubisoft would have taken notice, and they should be a little bit desperate right now, particularly after the failure of Star Wars Outlaws. They recently shut that company down as well.
The stupid Sea of Thieves, Skull and Bones.
Yeah, so they should know by now that they need to do something serious if they wish to remain, well, solvent, straight up. So I can see both possibilities.
Yeah, I mean, I can also see, like, I feel like Ubisoft has said in the past what, like, you'll be able to do with Yasuke, and then see, like, the actual release of the game, be like, okay, so am I playing the character as they had described, like, what, 2 years ago, whatever it is, and if there's a change, then we kind of know. But again, I feel like it's very hard to know unless seeing behind-the-scenes stuff. Kay, your final thoughts on that?
I'm just not really into the whole leakers hearsay thing, so for me, I like to see actual gameplay footage. I'm waiting to see when the game comes out, if it comes out, because it keeps getting delayed, and then I'm going to make a final determination there, but everything I've seen so far, I mean, Assassin's Creed has never been that exciting for me, maybe the first few, but it looks pretty sloppy, so we'll see.
Are either one of you guys going to get the game?
Yeah, I'll play it, just for shits and giggles and see what it's like.
Take your own opinion on it. Okay, that's fair.
Pretty much.
If it ends up on Game Pass, I might try it, but that would be about it.
Gear says, just play Tokyo Extreme Racer and Project Tonen Bunny Girl game for all the Montes. Ubisoft, who published The Crew and Assassinate Creed, got cucked by 2 real independent games made in Japan. Now, did we hit our Montes goal today? I don't have YouTube open right now, so I can't
17.
say. 17, guys. All right, well, we're that close, so we may not hit it today. Light Flawed. Oh my god, this is hilarious. I'm screenshotting that too. All right, invoked by the chat. Kay doesn't write fanfic. Blabs is based, and Arch can be wholesome on occasion. The show is great, and you guys are not racist. Thank you so much, Light Flawed. My homie.
I don't know if I've ever been accused of being wholesome, but I'm grateful for it.
Well, you could have your wholesome moments. When you showed up with the cloak, that was great. I was like, yes. Taking one for the team. But I did tell Arch today, no cloaks, guys, because it's very heavy to wear on stream. It's like dying of heat. Yeah. Nathan, he probably has his cloak. You have your cloak, don't you?
No, I was just looking around if there was any immediate paraphernalia I could pull up for funds, but not really.
What do you mean by paraphernalia? What the hell's that?
Paraphernalia. Is that a big word? God. What would be the equivalent? I only use that now. Accompaniments? Props?
Oh, props. Okay.
Yeah,
you
the
and your
closest thing I have
words.
is Deskaluga. That's about it.
Nathan says, I believe this report. All their actions with the delays is clearly in response to the backlash to the historical revisionism with Yasuke and the year of flops Ubisoft had. I mean, listen, it wouldn't be wrong but I don't want to be like, yeah, all in, because we don't know the source. We just don't. And John Kanji says, Montez, thank you for the 10. Where are we? Are we at 19 on 20, or did we make it?
We're at 19.
Listen here, chat. One more to do it. All right, so, okay, where can the people find you?
I am Melee K, one half of Melee Games, and thank you for spending your morning with me. You can find me at Melee Games. We do a bunch of random stuff. Last week, I ate like a box of Oreos on stream and felt like death. That was not fun.
Why do you do that to yourself? That's terrible.
Because people like seeing me suffer. They really do.
I don't. I'm a friend.
Yeah, thank you. That's me.
Okay, well, John Kanji did the Montez, so we hit our goal today, so thank you, chat. Now, listen, I'm going to have Arch do it because Arch is here every other Wednesday. What do you want to see Montez do today? Do you want to see him Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat, The Moon, Original Dustborn, or Super Mario?
Do I understand the question?
Yes.
Are you
Do you
sure?
like, okay, we'll just dumb it down. Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat, like the original Montez video, Dustborn, or Super Mario?
Street Fighter 2.
All right, he asked for it, chat.
Bitch!
Montez wins. Perfect.
Ta-da! Thanks, chat. All right. Oh, shit. There's like a whole bunch of you now with the Montez. Jesus. All right. Thank you very much for the Montez. Corona says, hot take, Star Wars Outlaws isn't as bad as many say it is. Montez. I've heard that, but I've never played it, so I can't, give my opinion. David came in with the 10. Thank you so much, guys. And Dirt is King says, I wonder how Nintendo keeps not making earth-shattering stupid decisions like all their rivals. It'll be a 23rd century and we'll still be playing LOZ then. Thank you very much. All right, Arch, where can they find you?
I'm on the Archcast. That's where you can find me. Or if you're into 40k lore, just simply Arch on YouTube.
All right, chat. And as for me, you can find me on my YouTube channel. I also have a Blabs Life gaming channel, and I've been playing a whole bunch of games there. I'm really close to getting monetized, and I have a Hogwarts Legacy video out on my main channel talking about the new mods and shit. Alrighty, guys. Thanks so much for joining us today. I'm sorry Craig was not here and you were just stuck with me instead, but people gotta try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys gotta go get it. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care and fatality. Yeah.